Hi, this is Mike May. I'm the editorial director of Scientific American Worldview here at the Buzz Center. With me today is Bob Hariri, who is the CEO of Celgene Cellular Therapeutics. Bob, thanks for being with us today. I really appreciate it.
Good to see you, Mike.
You know, if you could, it'd be great if we could just start out and you could tell everybody a little bit about Celgene Cellular Therapeutics. What would you like them to know?
So, Celgene Corporation, a company that's known for innovating the therapy of hematologic cancers, broad oncology applications, and immunology, has an entire division that's devoted to turning human cells into medicines. So, as you know, the field of stem cell medicine is evolving rapidly. Celgene has actually been involved in developing cell therapies at the cell therapy division for about the last 10 years. Right now we're using cells derived from the human placenta, and we're using them to treat everything from autoimmune disease to a number of regenerative medicine applications.
Great. Well, I know your company has this phrase, the virtuous cycle of innovation. Could you tell us what that means?
So at Celgene, we see there's a remarkable model that can be employed where when you identify a need in medicine, an unmet medical need, by having the vision, the commitment to identifying a solution to that problem, investment, and then a dedicated approach where you can identify the best path to developing either a therapeutic product, a pharmaceutical, a biologic product, a cell therapy. The rewards that you can recover from those efforts in turn fuel additional investment in research and discovery, allowing us to chase newer and newer problems with more innovative solutions.
So the idea is that one innovation sort of leads to others and bigger things, and even in a bigger area around the world almost.
That's right. Successfully pursuing a target such as a blood cancer and finding the right therapeutic solution, that enables us to identify newer targets, employing the methodologies that we've developed expertise in, as well as the resources to chase ever increasing numbers of problems in medicine.
When we talk about sort of the growth here and the expansion, it makes me wonder, as you think about the world in general, what could the rest of the world do? What could they change to help you accomplish these tasks?
So the field of biotechnology is a complex community with lots of moving parts. There are the basic scientists that reside in academia, that reside in industry. There are the developers, the drug developers. There are the regulators. All of us have to identify more efficient paths to take a discovery through the rigors of demonstrating safety and effectiveness against the disease, and then finding a path to rapidly and broadly gain approval for those new products to be deployed by clinicians to treat disease. If we look at the global community, there are environments around the world where there may be ideal opportunity to test new products because the demographics represent an opportunity to treat a broader number of patients in a clinical trial, for example. There may be some jurisdictions where the regulatory environment is very, very receptive to innovative therapies, and we have to identify those paths in order to speed up the process of getting new drugs approved, speed up the process of identifying new potential therapeutic strategies, and then come together ultimately to create solutions that the whole world can benefit from.
We know when we talk about things like oncology, do you have some sort of analogies or some kind of metrics that you could give that would help the everyday person understand how effective some of this has already been, some of this work, some of these new treatments?
So I think the best examples are to look at the tremendous strides that have been made in treating cancer. When I was a medical student, although the biology and the science of oncology was fascinating and something that I was very interested in, the thought of being involved in a career where the news was always bad actually drove me to go and pursue a training in neurosurgery. You can imagine what I was facing at that time. Today, what I think is remarkable is that cancer is being managed as a chronic disease. Look at what Celgene has done in the treatment of multiple myeloma. Just over the last 10 years, a disease that was uniformly fatal is now being managed with a series of drugs taken orally at home, where patients are essentially given back their lives. They can return to a productive employment. They become capable of living enjoyable lives, where they're back to being good consumers in the economy, and that, I think, represents one of the tremendous successes that exists today, and that Celgene has been an important part of.
When you talk about that kind of treatment, oncology is an area where lots of people thought of the treatments as complicated. Now you're talking about a relatively simple treatment, and that's not just for people in the developed world. That seems like for all of the world, it's an opportunity to get these treatments to them more because it's so simply applied. Is that true?
Well, I think the entire world is the beneficiary of innovation that occurs here in the United States. There's no doubt that the significant investment in terms of financial resources, human capital, the types of industry infrastructure necessary to get a brand new therapy through clinical development and to approval undoubtedly reaps tremendous rewards locally. However, those products are rapidly adopted and deployed globally as market penetration expands and as the clinical community begins to recognize that there are tremendous advantages to using these new therapies over the convention. For example, an oral cancer therapy that can be deployed and a patient can actually avoid having to have hospitalizations or avoid complex medical procedures or other approaches that are both costly and time consuming, clearly passes along all those benefits throughout the global community.
I mean, and that's always the goal. This is like a global way of passing on innovation, passing on better health around the world, which is obviously something that everybody's interested in. I'll tell you, we sure appreciate you making time to stop here and talk with us today, Bob. It was my pleasure to get a chance to talk with you.
Great to speak with you.
Thanks for everybody and stopping by. Look for more interviews here at the Buzz Center. Thanks a lot.